Welcome back, everybody. This is Tassie with Tassie Eats, and today I did a sweet and spicy pork riblet stir fry. And this is something that I've had before. I don't eat it too often, but this is and the reason was because the dish, it does take a while to make because it's basically pork rib, and they are the smaller ones, so it's known as a riblet. But if you ever go to like Asian stores and you see them like in the grocery aisle, I wanted to do a dish so that you guys can see how I would make this or how other Asian families would tend to make this. You do have to kind of cook it for a while to really soften them. If you have like a Dutch oven type of pot, that would be best for this. I don't have one. I used to have one, but I don't have one anymore. And so I just use a regular pan. And, because my pan, it's a non-stick, remember, don't do it on high heat. So you want to always make sure it's at medium to low, and you gotta let it simmer for a long while. So with this, I use these type of peppers with it, and this is actually just dry Thai peppers. And if you guys ever use this, people prefer them because it gives it a spicy kick only if you eat it, or else for other people who don't like spicy, it could be in there and it doesn't make it spicy. So this is a great option. And, like for color, people would use different type of bell peppers and everything. But then, this is just what they look like. It's a little pork riblet here. Okay. And it's sweet because I used this dark sweet soy sauce in here. It's so good. And this is like really home cooking. You put like a little bit of ginger in there, very little amount of ginger. With this dish, I wanted the sweet soy sauce to come out more than the ginger. And there's onion and shallots in here and garlic and red bell pepper, so. And check out the cooking video of this if you're interested in seeing how it's made. Now, there is a broth that gets created. So this is like their au jus, or like the broth from the dish. It's great with the rice. And I know some people, they like to pour it over the rice. So I'm just going to put a little bit. I don't like too much all over it because then it takes away the taste of like my white rice. I like the taste of white rice because it really takes away too much saltiness. And this dish, it has, to me, the perfect amount of salt, but it is more on the sweeter side. And there is a dish, I think it's Laotian, but for Hmong people, we call it ngai khai ji. And ngai khai ji, it's basically translates to sweet meat. And what they do is they do put a sweet type of soy sauce in it, but what they typically do with the pork, because it's also with fatty pork. So this isn't as fatty, but anyways, with the sweet meat dish, they typically, it has more fat on there, so it's kind of like part of the belly, and they deep fry it, and then they take it out, and then they slow cook it for a long time over a pot, and then they put like all this seasoning in there. I'm not a fan of that. And aikaji, it does not taste like this. It kind of tastes similar. It does have a similar taste, but this is just the pork riblets, and they're not cooked for as long, and they're not deep fried and then slowly cooked. Mm-hmm. It is so good. But the whole point of it was, it's kind of like IG, but it's not. This is like so good to me. mm. And I definitely know it's because, you know, I tend to cook a lot of Asian foods. I cook different types of foods too, but I do love and I always crave Asian types of food. So it's either Korean, Japanese, or some kind of dish, or Thai or Viet. But, you know, like this to me, it's like home type of, you know, soul food kind of eating. So it's like, even though I do eat a lot of those different dishes, this is something that I just love and I eat a lot of it when I do get it. The tiny pieces are my favorite. It's like the bigger pieces, normally I would always like leave it for other people to eat. There's more meat on there, but it's just like, it can be too much meat sometimes. Mm. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people they really like that sweet pork dish I was talking about earlier. I've never been a fan of it though. And I think it's because I've never had anybody make it good, where it tasted good. A lot of times it would just taste like oil because you deep fry it first, and then it would just taste like oil to me. And there's like boiled eggs that they soak in soy sauce, and then before they put it into the dish. And the egg was always so rubbery because it had been boiling for so long. I'm just a chronic complainer today. I'm sorry. but I've never had it where I liked it. Some people, they just make it so salty, or they make it just pure sugar. There is no good balance of the sweet, the salty that it's supposed to be. And the pork, the whole point of it is it's supposed to be simmered for so long that it just melts. It just breaks apart. And it's like, it keeps the form of, like, imagine pork stomach or pork belly when you cut it. It keeps the shape. But when you take a spoon to it, it's supposed to just, like, bam, like butter, you know, like. But it's never happened that way before. It's happened to me once. My girlfriend, she left to California. She moved. But her family made it, and I was looking at it. I was like, don't do it, Tassie, don't do it. I didn't want to be rude, so I ate it. And it was done very well. It was very well done. It was like exactly what I said. It keeps the shape, but when you cut into it, it's like butter. It just like separates, and it's kind of gooey-ish almost when you're eating it because it had been boiling for so long, but the flavor was amazing. But again, a lot of people, they don't make it in a way that I like to eat it. And I'm Asian, so I love to eat around bones. So this whole pork riblet thing, it's perfect. It's not like a huge rib. It's just smaller pieces of it. I'm gonna need more rice. I highly recommend for people to try this dish. It's definitely a Southeastern Asian type of dish. And I have not seen it at restaurants. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but I've never seen this dish at the restaurants. And pork riblet is very cheap meat. Very cheap. Like 2 pounds here, it was less than $8. 2 pounds of pork riblet meat. One thing I want to stress is because it's pork riblets, there's a lot of like bones. So what you want to do is you want to kind of soak it in water for at least like 30 minutes to an hour, and then scrub it really well with your hands. And you'll find these little grains of the bones. So you want to make sure you get all of that off before you cut it up and fry it. I'm trying not to eat a lot of rice because rice fills me up a lot. I love eating it. This sauce is so good. And this is like a really simple stir fry, but I think it's just because I haven't had it in a while. Water always fills me up a lot too, so I'm trying to consciously not drink a lot of it. Mm-hmm. It's so good. I'm gonna go get more rice. Okay, back with more rice. I got my nose. And I love like how it has all the little peppers in here, like the red bell pepper. It gives it a really good taste to it for me. Okay, probably like one more piece, and then I think I'm done. I don't want one too big. Okay, I finished my rice. I am done eating. Thank you very much, you guys, for tuning in and watching. Don't forget to check out my cooking video on this. It's a great recipe. It's a great dish. You'll definitely love it.